first thing I wanted to talk about was kind of demand drivers and shortfalls. We talked about this quite a bit when I was here last year through some of the different breakout sessions. And really, we have two main problems when we look at our current gap list. The first one, and just to put it in layman's terms, forces can't activate, right? Our pacing threat is a space-capable adversary, so they're going to be able to find us. They have long-range precision fires. They're going to be able to reach out and touch us. They'll be able to interdict. Feedback. All right. They'll be able to interdict us. They'll be able to disrupt our command and control. Right. So we can't face them the same way we had faced previous non-state actors, violent extremists, over the last couple of decades. Right. So getting back to that energy piece, right, and how they tie together, the way we decided to mitigate these capability gaps is through a lot of AI and autonomous systems, right? We distribute our forces out and we fill in those manpower and combat power gaps with all of this artificial intelligence, autonomous systems that kind of give us that persistent surveillance, persistent presence that we're not going to put a man asset to. All of these things spike up the demand for energy, but because we're distributed and we can't aggregate for long amounts of time, like say to charge a tactical electric vehicle, right? Now we're kind of exacerbating that problem, right? So backing up this energy problem to its beginning, how do I get energy to the battlefield? And it really starts with our oil tanker problem. You can kind of argue the numbers. I've seen several academic papers that vary a little bit. This particular paper where I pulled this from came from Cichy, and they estimated 100 oil tankers, with only 10 of those being assured. And I dug into that because that number seemed a little bit high to me, and the reason that they're looking at it that way is the particular pacing threat, in this case, the PRC, they've kind of gone global, right? Through Belt and Road initiatives, we don't expect a conflict with somebody like China to be just local to the South China Sea. It's going to be global, right? If you just looked at the Pacific, that number is about half that. But it also creates some other problems because we can expect them not to make the same mistake the Japanese made in World War II, and they're going to try to interdict and disrupt those tankers, right? Sink a couple tankers, and now our problem even gets worse. So we're going to have to escort them. All of that escort work on those tankers takes combat power from the rest of the fleet. Depending on what you read, we may or may not have enough actual surface fleet to escort the tankers that are required for the surface fleet that's supposed to fight. Right, so we run into a little bit of a problem. How that kind of pertained to me over on the Marine Corps side was I'm ashore on an island, right? So I'm a Marine, I'm a soldier, I'm an airman, and I'm on one of these islands in the South China Sea. I have no reasonable expectation of getting gas. The Navy is going to have enough problems providing fuel for themselves, and they're probably going to fuel themselves first, as they should, right? So I'm now on an island and I do not have assured access to energy, right? We have the long supply chains, we have this regional access, right? So right now, we've kind of been sweeping some of this under the rug by a lot of stopping in different ports for fuel, right? The whole tanker shortfall isn't as bad here in peacetime as it will be if we move to conflict. Rest assured that if we actually move to conflict with the pacing threat, our access to a lot of those ports where we're getting fuel is going to get cut off. And worst case, we have to fight our way into an ally's port to go take their gas, which wouldn't be a great thing strategically.